cheers you on? Who pats you on the back? Who calls to check on you to ask you how you're doing? Who asks you if you need anything? Who asks you, are you okay today? Who asks you? Right, I truly understand. For so many years of my life, and still to this day, I have always been the one to support my family. I'm not talking about monetarily. I'm talking about in a mental aspect, in a physical aspect, and what's supposed to be a family aspect. Ever since I was a kid, I loved watching TV, right? And I used to love to watch The Cosby Show as a kid. And I admired the show so much that I wanted my family to be like The Cosby Show. You know, Felicia Rashad, she was like an excellent mother. They had ups and downs, but they still were a family, Bill, as we knew at the time, was an excellent father. Anyway, the family was a picture perfect family, right? And I wanted that so bad for my family. But honey, we was far from the Cosby Show family. And as I grew, I was introduced to God at a very young age. And so little did I know that I was the one He chose to pray over my family, to pray for my family, to pray for others, to be that person in my family's life. They have no clue as to who I truly am as a person. That's another thing that hurts, because when your family don't know who you are and sometimes can't join in that conversation with you because they truly won't understand, and they don't try to. A lot of times they don't try to because they're so busy doing other things in life. They're so busy allowing you to be who you are because they know you got it. They feel like you got it. You know what I'm saying? They feel like you're a superwoman or you're a superman. That's how my family has always treated me. Like I was superwoman. I could have not a dime in my pocket, and my family would think that I had millions of dollars, trillions of dollars. They treated me like I was a rich woman or a rich person. Now, what I did do in my younger years, I couldn't wait till I turned 16 to start work, because my mom, she lived on the system all my life, and I couldn't understand why she didn't want more for herself. What in the world could $200 per month? Was it 236? You see how I remember those numbers so vividly? Because that's what it was. $236 a month. What was that? Who lives like that? And I could never understand why. But I was the last one that she had on the system as far as getting a check for. And when I turned 16, I didn't care. I was determined I was going to start working. I was going to get me a job and do better with my life than what I saw growing up. So through all of those challenges, right? I didn't know at the time that I was going through spiritual warfare, because I had no clue what spiritual warfare was. The devil tried to break me at a very, 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 very young age. And I didn't know that until years ago. So now today, of course, I know why he kept trying to enter my life. He kept trying to maneuver me to the left versus to the right. But God always had His hands on me. And that's truly what my family, one of my nieces, like if she gets upset with me or she get mad with me, the thing that she throws in my face that she thinks that'll hurt me is, and you always talk about God. Well, baby, if that's the one thing that you know about me, job well done. At least you know that about me if you don't know nothing else, because that is true. My mom, none of my family went to church. But one thing that I can say about my mom, if she never did anything else for me, she took me to my grandma's house so I could go to church, right? So I'm grateful for that. So even way back then, God had his hands on me. He allowed that. That's why I know so well what my position is in my family and what it was back then, you know? And so again, my niece she always throws that in my face. And I'm okay with that. It truly hurts when you are supporting everything and everybody else and no one is supporting you. You think when certain things you accomplish in your life, they're happy for you. You know, you want your family to be happy for you. If nobody else in the world is happy for you, you want your family to be happy for you. But it's only years later when you really, really, truly find out that they're not happy for you. They could care less about anything you got going on. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. When people don't know how to be happy for you, it can be family as well. Sometimes they don't want to be happy for you because if it's not happening to them or for them, they don't know how to be happy for you. And when I tell you this video here is a different video, these next couple of videos, I don't know, my channel may take a shift. Because this is real and I know somebody can relate to it. And it was difficult to make this video. I had no plans on it. You see, I haven't even made up my bed. I'm sitting in my bed, Indian style. Yeah, I still like to sit like this because it's comfortable. It amazes me still to this day how people can look. Let me say this. No one is perfect. I'm far from perfect. One thing I can say is I've always had my family's best interest at heart. Even when I tried to walk away or turn the other cheek, it was hard because it was my family. It still is my family, you know. But I had to distance myself. Because if you don't distance yourself, you will never move forward with what God has for you or with what you want to do in your life or your plans. When you know that your family is not happy for you, baby, it's time for you to move on. Blood doesn't make you family. Family makes you family. Blood does not make you family. They say blood is thicker than water. What kind of blood? What kind of water? What they talking about? Who made that theory? At least that's how it was supposed to be. That's how it was supposed to be. But it really hurts when you find out in your adult life that family is not who you need them to be in your life. But you are, and you were in their life. You was the one they called on when they didn't talk to. You was the one they called on when, you know, somebody was bothering them or they needed reinforcement. You know, I was that person. But it's okay. I'm good. I needed to make this video to let you know that if you are allowing your family to hold you back, to keep you from growing, if you are hurt by anything that your family has done to you, it's okay. Just move from it. Move forward. Do not have somebody in your life that keeps you down, that keeps you hurt, that keeps poking you like a bear. And see, I don't want to say things to my family that I regret later, so I'd rather stay away. I still love my family, but you got to know your time to move out of the way. My move here to where I am today, I'm almost 2 hours away from home. People are waiting for me to fail. They're waiting for me to come back to my hometown and say, oh, she thought she was going to make it where she is. Or she back again. That's the mentality. That's the mindset. And it's okay. It's not my mindset. Move forward. Stop letting people, especially family, hurt you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on your post notification bell so that when I post another video, you won't miss these videos. Stay tuned for more. Okay? Mwah.